like 3 o'clock, which is basically after dusk where I live, except it isn't. I went into the woods at the, well, back of the woods at the property to see. The sunlight is covered. I just wanted to kind of discuss yesterday because I wanted to make a video really badly yesterday, but I was in such a state of, I felt like I went backwards. Um, but in order for me to start this healing thing, um, and this is for anyone else too that's even doing this, I've yesterday trying to find like groups to join and things. A lot of New Earth groups uh, are on this same mission, and I was surprised and the way things were like worded in these groups that I was like mind blown. And this is really like a shift that's happening, and it's incredibly exciting. People are being more open, and but the place we need to start is focusing on ourselves, and that starts with like I have to start with me. And I didn't want to make a video yesterday because I was in a state of rage, immense anger and frustration. I was excited because I had a reason to get out of the house. I had to go to the town hall, register my car, and I was like, I packed a lunch and everything, and I was like, okay, I'm going out. I'm gonna spend the day out, and I got myself out of the house, and I'm gonna stay out. And problem is, I had nowhere to go. Like I just drove around aimlessly, and would pull over and sit there, and just not know what to do. And I don't want to listen to music because of the words, and I don't want to listen to like audiobooks because like when there's too many words, my insides get just like it's like a weird thing right now. I need like just frequencies or instrumental music or something. And so I was driving around and was like, I have less than a half tank of gas, that I don't really have the extra spare $45 to fill it for no reason. And then I started going into a panic attack because I have nobody in my life that I can connect with. And I mean, like, yeah, talk to, but not, no, like my mother and my brother, like on a daily basis, I talk to, but like, I'll say, I'll try and explain why I'm projecting like negativity or whatever the way that I am, like, not like excuses, but I'm like explaining yesterday. I was so like, just today, this morning, I'm like talking about how yesterday when I was driving, I drove 15 minutes around the same circle because I saw a squirrel in the road. And this is something that I've never done or thought of doing or anything like that. It's really weird. I was overcome with extreme empathy, which has been heightened like crazy in the last like 8 months or so. And there was a squirrel in the road. I wasn't sure if it was hit. I wasn't sure if it was completely dead or not, but its eye was open and it just looked like it was just. So I had a car behind me and I had a car in front of me, and it was kind of like right before like a intersection, like two ways, I guess. So yeah, and I went straight And I turned around and then I turned around and I turned around until there was like waiting to see if there was like no car behind me so that I could stop, get out, and I was getting like napkins ready to move it out of the road. Because I remember what popped into my head was I had seen this thing that this woman was uh, moving roadkill out of the road and like making a little thing for it, like putting flowers around it and everything. And it's popped into my head, and I'm like, well, I should at least just move it out of the road out of like, respect. And I felt like I need to do this. I need to do this. And I was overcome, like, I was like panicking, like, I need to do this. And I couldn't. And there wasn't really a spot to pull over, and there was always someone around. I just couldn't. And I was like, please, God, forgive me. Like, I know I need to do this. And I went home and sat in the driveway and just like didn't understand, just frustrated with my whole life. I haven't been able to work because of the health, really, stuff. And haven't been able to work a full-time job, barely a part-time job. Like, I haven't worked for more than a month this entire year, for the last year, because of extreme chronic fatigue, immense anxiety, depression, brain fog, to the point that like I've made stupid mistakes. Like, I just can't think. Um, and I've always had a speculation that I am on the autism spectrum, more than suspected. I kind of thought that I'm different since I was 5, actually. Like, my memory specifically was in the first grade play in dressed as a butterfly in the back of the stage with the tall people in the front. And I was like my music teacher put all the tall people in the front and the short people in the back. I don't know. And I was like, why is she doing this? Why is she doing this? And I was trying to find my mom, and I like couldn't see the audience and everything. And I was just looking around. I'm like, may as well not do anything. Like, I can't, there's no sense in like dancing or even singing because no one can see me anyway. These people with me in this row are doing it anyway. I'm like, I'm not, I don't think like most people. I don't know. It was just like, there was a lot going through my head, but like that was the day I realized it, I think. And at least the strongest day I can remember. Yeah, so I started having, well, my old job before I moved was my favorite job that I ever had. I met beautiful people, and I found my work really satisfying, and I just loved it. I loved it so much. People started leaving or quitting, and I was like accepting of having to leave because of moving. But after I moved, I was like, I don't like this at all. I don't know. And I feel ungrateful too, because I felt ungrateful for the longest time because I have always wanted to live in the mountains. And I'm not in the mountains, but I'm like a half an hour from the mountains. And this is the back of our property, and there's mountains. The house over there, I mean, because we have woods behind our house, so we can't see anything, but they're all cleared, and mountains. Oh, you can see, like, it's crazy. And I've wanted this my whole life, and I feel like I appreciate it, but I can't fully appreciate it, like, because of everything. And it's just, I want to get this out now because I I want to let go of these like old stories and any victim mentality stuff, because I just, once I'm saying these things, maybe I can, talking about other things in another video, refer to it or whatever, but I don't want to live in it anymore. I don't want to be this person anymore, this sick, ill, like ill person that can't do anything, because I used to be so sharp. I had a great memory. I swear, like I I used to love the person that I was, or that I know I am, but I haven't been that person in, I don't even know, years, and it's been painful to go through this. And it's not just the health thing. It's yeah, it's a dark night of the soul is what this is. And last night, I don't know how this, I mean, last time I searched dark night of the soul, like September. And last night there was something that came up on my YouTube feed for it, and it was exactly what I needed to hear yesterday. I had no idea, because I had been through this before. And crap, I have something on my wall that I want to, oh shoot, I'll add it in the video, but it's a chart, a consciousness chart by, oof, I'll add it. But I was way better then, and I didn't go through something quite like this, but I mean, what I did go through this before, Dark Night of the Soul, and it was when my empathy was dramatically heightened, but still not to this extent. Not to the extent that it's like harmful to my emotional health. And yeah, it just wasn't this emotional, I think. And so it's like I've had nasty depression so bad since after I moved, and just this overwhelming sense lately, which is the worst feeling, of need for just a deep, meaningful connection with another human being. And also trying to figure out how, where I can go by myself alone outside, where I don't have to walk up to anyone and introduce myself or confront anyone, where people will just like, confront me and then magically become friends. I know. And I was telling my brother that today, and he just like, it's like, I don't know. Like, yeah, exactly. And I just need, I know. And I was like, well, and then I explained the squirrel thing, and he's like, yeah, it's like, okay. I'm like, you know what this is? It's crazy empathy, because it's a spiritual awakening. And then that's basically the most of the reactions I get nowadays. And it's only them two that I talk to, and they just don't understand. And it is extremely difficult to have the people who are in my life to not understand what I'm going through, because of this crazy thing that I need another human being, or other human beings. I just need to, I've never wanted to do customer service in my life. I've done it many times, but I never enjoyed it. Like I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it when it's good. A lot of times it isn't. But I've never willingly looked for it. And now I'm like, I'm going to try and apply for a job again. Not even as much for the money as it is being able to talk to a stranger, even. or a potential to make a friend. Thing is, it's at a hospital for dietary. I owe the hospital like just under $700 for a procedure, and they keep calling me, and it's like, how do you? And this is the thing. It's like, is this like autism? The need to feel like to answer the phone and be like, can't pay you for the procedure that you tested for the symptoms that I have that inhibit me from working, and therefore I don't have the money to pay you. Just like like the irony of it. I don't know. But whatever. I hope it'll be fine, because the last couple of jobs that I had, I've tried to get a job since I've moved. Like, I worked at a bakery in July, which, I used to love. I do love baking passionately. But I'm guessing because of depression, I can't enjoy anything that I used to enjoy. I can't enjoy anything. Like, I know I can. So I haven't, and it's really sad to me, because I used to bake all the time. But yeah, and the job wasn't even bad. Like, it was 2 out of like 5 or 6 people that I worked with that it was the way they spoke to me. Like one guy I worked with, I just felt like and I felt like he kept mansplaining me, and I have experience in baking, like, and I didn't want to say these things because it's like not socially, I don't know, they didn't feel like a social norm, and this is where like masking comes in, and it's just really freaking weird. So he'd like be explaining something to me with his words, but doing something different with his hand gestures, and I know that what his words are saying is right because I've done it before, and I know like what it is, but his hands is what I'm following, and I can't think fast enough to realize that, to understand that his words are what he's talking about, and instead I did what his hands were doing, and like it was wrong, and he mansplained me further, and then I kind of freaked out in my head, and yeah, and I was just making stupid mistakes too here and there, and they were always caught, like, and if it wasn't for like medication, I wasn't on medication yet. That was the thing. And then I think October I worked at my first job was Dunkin' Donuts, and I needed some sort of income that was something that I was familiar with, something that was easier, something that I knew the job and didn't have to stress over, at least that. So, and plus I live in the middle of nowhere. At least it feels like I'm not far from towns that have things in it, but this one doesn't really. Yeah, so I worked at Dunkin' Donuts for a month. It's just like I'm extra sensory now, and I can't handle stress the way that I used to. I mean, I tolerated so much. I like dealt with a lot, and I was able to handle so much more. I was very resilient and strong, and I don't know, I'm just like not like what I used to be. And so yeah, when I was at Dunkin's, I kind of felt like I was being bullied, and because I wasn't moving, like, at first it had been months since I had a job, and I had never left the house, and I was getting shit on for, I mean, I thought I was doing good, but there was some weird stuff happening with the technology and things, and my strong suit was not the drive-through window, and that's where I was always stuck. And anytime I tried to help or like pick up anyone's or help here and there, like I'd get yelled at, or like there was nothing I could do right, and I ended up it got like so busy, and I screwed up that in a way that it screwed up everything else. And so I started getting yelled at by like everybody, and I started having a panic attack right there and crying, and ran into the back like like a like and it's just embarrassing. And yeah, and the one from the bakery, my panic attack was far worse. I mean, by the nasty, I don't know what else to call it other than a cross between a manic episode and an panic attack. That lasted a very long time, and I had had a manic episode once before, March of 2022, and I don't even. It was grief because of the breakup at the time, and I think it drove me a little crazy, and it just kind of happened out of nowhere. I like did a lot of weird shit, and I didn't remember a lot of it. But this time, when I quit the bakery, I had started having a panic attack on break talking to my mom, and then I left that day, and turned on metal music and screamed all the way home. And I got out of the car and started bawling my eyes out, and got a glass, filled it with wine, and ran into the bathroom and turned the shower on and got in with my clothes on, and cried and hyperventilated, and which is usually what my panic attacks are like. And then my mom would end up coming in a while later, and oh, the sun is warm. Oh my God. She was like, she pulled me out of there, and I sat on the couch soaking wet, and I was like, I can't go back there. I can't go back there. I can't go back there. I can't. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. What do I do about this whole thing? And I need to work, and I don't have any diagnosis to even think about disability. Not that I would never want to do that. And but because it's so not the kind of person I am. None of this is. It's not me, and I don't know what it is. And none of even any diagnoses that I do have can't really prove I am unable to work. Doesn't make any sense. And so yeah, I have a job interview tomorrow at the hospital, and I hope it goes well, because I want to work so bad. I do. Like, I want to be a human being again. I want to feel like a person. And one thing I did want to mention is like, I can't even tell you how long I sit in front of my phone in anticipation, like not pressing record because of like anticipation anxiety. And I don't want to film in my room because I just don't. I'm trying to get outside every day. This is the third time I've been outside, like in the woods actively. Yesterday, when I got home, I came into the woods for like 10 minutes and I was depressed instantly because the sun was going down and I felt like I wasted the day. And nature wasn't helping. And I was depressed that the snow that was on the trees that was falling and hitting the pine needles and sounding really pretty was gone. But I was also depressed that the snow was going to melt soon and that wouldn't be there. But I'm also depressed that there's snow on the ground because it's cold out and I want it to be warm out. But like, I've also learned to enjoy the season for what it is. That's pretty profound because I have like seasonal depression too. And I can't tell you how much this helps. And there are times, yes, like it takes a lot for me to actually come outside. And I almost didn't. But I can't, I feel like I can't film in my room or my house anywhere. And I was actually thinking of like, and is this crazy? Like, I was gonna try to make a space in like the of a RAV4, so the older one, they pull out sideways. The the trunk door is like sideways, and there's a lot of space in there. So I was gonna like make a place to work and to record and whatever back there, so I could be like outside and inside. I don't know, but I really, really, I find it effortless to film outside. It's amazing. And I don't remember the last time I was actually in nature. And this is like the back of the house, and thank God that like there's land, because I went to try and stop at a trail the other day and there was someone there, like in the parking lot. But this is magic to me. And I don't know what else to say, but yeah, and oh, my brain doesn't work in the house. That's why my brain doesn't function the same. It's like I was telling my mom, like, I'm fatigued today, like I didn't take any medication. I feel dead. And I don't know what to do about this. But I feel okay right now. It's got to be the atmosphere. And I mean, a lot's happened in that house since we moved here. So the whole place probably needs to be like sage bombed. And just, and the first time I came out here with the first video that I was outside, I can't tell you how liberating that felt, because that was closer to the me I'm trying to get to. And I just felt like walking out of the woods like a crazy sense of optimism. Like, yes, my life is going to change. I'm going to be fine. But yesterday was the complete opposite. And it's just, it varies day to day. And I feel weird for like filming this because like I'm not stable enough to be able to be on this like movement to contribute to or to help, others heal. But I know that when I was stuck in the house all summer, the first good portion of the year, I was constantly looking for stories that are similar, and I got a lot of validation from it, and it felt like I wasn't alone. I don't want to leave the woods, but it's cold and the sun's going down, and I know I'm going to get depressed soon. The sun's only up till like 2:30, like way over there, but it's obviously like what, like close to 4 o'clock now. It's crazy. I don't get it. It's weird up here, but yes. Thanks for watching.